Hello again. Welcome back for Chapter 7 of Ignite Love. Uh, Tonight we're going to be going through the story by Captain Dionysios Drakogiannopoulos, Chasing the Sun Between the Sea and Sky. It's a long name. I think he's Greek. Anyways, tonight's quote is, "Find the strength to compete with the sun." Title is Chasing the Sun Between the Sea and Sky. And the intention of this chapter: I want to inspire you to gain your courage, to stand up, to claim again and again your dreams until you make them happen. Be strong, don't make excuses. Discover yourself and the fears you have inside. We sometimes make our decisions based on fear, and I want to encourage you to make your decisions based on love. Remember the feelings that you had when you first fell in love and act from those. Come from love. Yes. My story starts one relaxing June afternoon 4 years ago. I was working at my office in Athens when I received a phone call, a call that a port captain never wants to receive. It was from the captain on one of my surveillance vessels. He briefed me that he had a severe accident on the Suez Canal, one of the heaviest traffic places on the planet. His vessel, one of the biggest in the world, had run aground. I was stunned. It is the worst case scenario for a vessel, and it could shut down the entire Suez Canal for days until we could get the vessel clear. I immediately gathered my things, left the office, and flew to the Suez Canal to lead the refloat operation and undertake the repairs in the nearest repair yard. A few days later, after my team and I managed to refloat the vessel, we sailed her to Dubai for repairs. There, the weather conditions were deplorable. We had to work in cramped, enclosed spaces inside the vessel's wounded hull, where the temperature would get to the unbearable heat of 69 degrees Celsius, or 156 degrees Fahrenheit. That's really hot. We had to suffer under those conditions from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day, scribbling notes on paper as we tried to figure out how to solve the complex technical problems aboard, as our electronic devices failed due to the heat. Wow. New challenges popped up every day, increasing the pressure we were under. We had to make the vessel ready to sail by a tight deadline, otherwise we would lose $500 million deal. It's a fair amount of money. The tension was super high and I barely slept. For the first time in my career, I felt that I had reached my stress limits. It felt like a war zone. It was the definition of hell. In the second week of the project, we finally had a small window of relief. We succeeded in finding a way to make the redelivery deadline. My colleague and I decided to celebrate with a drink at a local bar. I invited a friend from home in Greece, who was working as a pilot in a local airline, to join us later along with his colleague. Sitting at the bar with my friends from work, I luxuriated in the icy freshness of a mojito when all of a sudden I spotted a breathtaking woman coming our way. She was one of my pilot friend's associates. She stopped right where we were sitting and said, "You must be Denny." My heart was racing. My mouth was dry. I felt myself sweating and my breath became short. I thought to myself, God must be playing tricks on me. This is not possible. Facing me was one of the most beautiful and elegant women I've ever laid eyes on, with a smile like those we'd seen in advertisements. Curly, dark, long hair, big, beautiful cat eyes, shone a passionate fire and at the same time a calm sea. Using all my energy, I replied, bursting with confidence, even if I weren't, I would say yes, Denny here. She rewarded me with her captivating smile. I can still recall that moment. She was wearing a sleek black dress and black Louboutin heels, pearl earrings, and a necklace with a single white pearl. A necklace with a single white pearl. We talked all night long, paying practically no attention to what our friends and colleagues were saying, nor to whatever else was happening around us. I had an intense desire to get to know her as much as I could. I absorbed every single word she said, and I loved the way she talked and moved her beautiful lips. Her eyes locked on mine, very bright and full of longing. I could not take my eyes off of her. It wasn't only her eyes or her breathtaking beauty that pulled me in. It was her elegance, the tone of her voice, the way she moved her hands, everything about her. From that point, my Dubai days transformed from hell to heaven. Somehow, the weather seemed a little cooler, the wind a little tamer, and the project not so difficult. That was it, my life's point zero. Throughout the 3 incredible years that followed, I discovered more of her virtues every day. She was an equitable, very organized, practical person. She was faithful, emotionally stable, self-conscious, intelligent, and trustworthy. She was a fantastic cook with a great sense of humor. She was never late, she never criticized other people, and she was kind and humble. And she loved brunches in the Hamptons when the weather was pleasant and the balcony was open. She loved her pearls and Hermes accessories. She liked to feel free with the wind in her hair. She was a Persian leopard who could not easily be tamed, but when under pressure, ran away. She moved so fast that no one could reach her, and she did not turn back. Life without caring about anything was her ultimate goal, although she wouldn't admit it, and still does not today. She became my angel, the brightest star in my sky, the center of my universe, my everything. Oh, wow. That's a lot for one person to be. Except we both had a second center to our personal universes, work. Due to our crazy demanding professions, we both had to travel around the world on a weekly basis. Sometimes we were in the same city and so busy we could not see each other. Other times we met for a few hours during an airport layover. We tried to find a way to spend more time together, but it was never enough. How can I quench this thirst of love? I thought. We were spending our work to leave. We were spending our work leave to see each other. After several weeks apart, we would stay awake for nights when we met, trying to win the battle over time for one more hour, or even for just a few more minutes. We were both well used to flying and the goodbyes that came with it, logging hundreds of flights each year, but our hardest moments were at the airport departure halls. I found myself standing at the airport, and my heart would literally feel pain, yet we tried to show each other that we were strong enough to control our emotions. When we would finally lose sight of each other's figure, only then would our tears roll. Our souls were singing, and we were languishing like it's a blooming flower that was left without water, exposed in the sun. It's not easy to leave someone so important behind, but you must find the strength to do so until the next time. Usually, before boarding our return flight, we would start counting the weeks and days until we could meet again. In those years, my life was excellent and everything was amazing. We were dreaming about and planning our future, and we couldn't wait to live what life had prepared for us. Then, one night, a few days before our summer vacation, we were talking on the phone about our future, and I said something which I later realized was very insensitive. It was our first conflict, and it destroyed everything. 2 days later, just before I boarded the plane to meet her and start our holidays, my phone dinged with an incoming email. I looked down, and I saw it was from her. I opened it quickly, wondering what she had sent. After reading the first few words, I felt my heart stop. Her email explained why she could not join me for our holidays. Reading further, she wrote that our paths were to split. She thanked me for every beautiful moment we lived and asked me not to contact her ever again. Oh, her words froze me to the ground. I cannot clearly remember how I found the courage to board the plane that day. My hand kept drifting to my pocket where a small box holding an engagement ring lay heavily inside. Oh. On our holiday together, I was planning to ask her to make me the happiest man on this planet by marrying me. I had arranged everything, the best hotel, our flights, everything, but all of that made no sense anymore. I was so in love at that time. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't work. I was losing my mind. For most of the next 28 days, I was thinking based on my fears. I was trying to understand how I got to that place and thought I could find the answers by drinking until mid-morning every single day. At the bottom of each drink, her figure was there. The lyrics of all the songs suddenly became meaningful, and I was reeling. I was discovering what rock bottom means. I wrote to her, called her, texted her, all without success. She had blocked me from even the postman. She did say not to contact her again. And I get yearning for something that you want and can't have, or someone that doesn't want you back for whatever reason. Unrequited love. Ouch. A few weeks later, I managed to open a small crack in a communication channel when I sent my best friend in Dubai to accidentally meet her, but the damage was already done. Our relationship couldn't be repaired. After my vacation period ended, I returned to Shanghai, China, where I was stationed at the time. I was trying to find peace with my new reality without alcohol, without friends to pamper me, and without other distractions. On one of my sleepless nights, tossing and turning in bed, I felt the need to run until all of the angry voices in my head subsided. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. There were no cars. There were no people. For an hour, the voices got louder and louder. My emotions moved from hurt to angry, from disappointment to frustration, from sad to mad. I was going to lose control, so I kept running. 2 hours later, my legs gave up. My heart was beating at its maximum, and the oxygen that I was breathing was not enough to cover the demand. Unable to run one more kilometer, I gave up. I was so broken. Exhausted, I lay there on the Purdong riverside and watched the sunrise through the trees. That was the first time after 4 weeks that I felt a warm touch. As I lay there, watching the sun for about 20 minutes, I realized for the first time that I had to find peace with myself to evolve and become a person that I would love to be. This was my ignite moment. I had to be consistent, focus on the goals that I would target, and battle the fear that controls my decisions from time to time. Yes, loving the self, being who you want to be, because that's who you want to be, and it brings you happiness to be that way. That morning, I made a bet with the sun. Every sunrise for the next 5 months will find me running. I will write a book about our relationship so as not to forget a single beautiful moment that we lived together. I will start learning piano. I will join the next Ironman race in Greece. I will change my job, and I'll learn to embrace my emotions. Last one's a really big one, embracing the emotions. When I told my best friends my goals, they thought that I had lost my mind. My dear friend Petros, who is living in China as well, told me, "Are you crazy, mate? Chasing the sun in China? What are you thinking?" Here it dawns at 4:30. Why sunrise? Please consider sunsets instead. My brother briefed me that it is hard, if not impossible, to train for such a demanding race as the Ironman in such a short period, that people train for years, and that I should consider a marathon first and maybe an Ironman race for next year. The more they tried to convince me, the more stubborn I was. I was not afraid of storms. This is how I learned to sail ships. It is predetermined when the sun will rise. It cannot do anything about it, but I can. Not giving up was a way to prove how much I wanted. Not giving up was a way to prove how much I wanted something, how committed I was to it. And I wanted to become a better person for me, for her, and for our future family. Oh, I acknowledge that deep commitment that he has. And within that, it also comes to mind an analogy that we are all sailors on the sea of life. And while we cannot control the ocean of life, we can learn to become better sailors through our experiences and what we learned. The early morning run became my drive. It energized me. Most of the time, I was waking up before the 4:20 a.m. alarm, determined and excited. Despite the initial concerns of my friends, I felt lucky to have them and my brother supporting me on my journey. They were calling me every day to follow up on my schedule, observing my training program and progress. Over the next 8 months, we connected more than we ever had before through this unique adventure. When you're making big changes in your life, it's really kind of crucial to have accountability and support through it. Sometimes we just need that encouragement. Other times we're willing to show up just because we know that others are going to be holding us accountable. And sometimes we're more willing to show up for someone else than we are for our own selves. And that's all okay. And we get to keep going. During that period, I worked very hard every day to be a better person. Sometimes I fell short, but I didn't give up. I spent 294 hours training. I swam 50 kilometers, cycled 4,949 kilometers, and ran 825 kilometers. I was confident, determined, and happy with myself. One by one, I fought all my fears with the support of a fantastic friend and therapist, Rihanna. She helped me reconcile with myself. I discovered that within us, we all have a weak child who has fears and desires. I understood from this journey that fear is an emotion, a fundamental and straightforward emotion, and like all simple things in life, it's very complicated. Yes, it is. After 3 months apart, we started talking again. I was flying from Shanghai to Dubai, and since we were going to be in the same city, she agreed to meet me again. The moment she walked into our favorite restaurant, I knew in the core of my being that she was my other half. Everything I had done up until then made sense. She was the cause and the force behind everything for me. Afterward, when I dropped her at her apartment around 4:30 in the morning, with my whole body vibrating for the energy of our encounter, I went for a run. I ran the best 10 kilometers I had ever run. Had you seen me, you would have thought I was crazy. I talked to the sun in my excitement. It was everything. I had won back the love of my Persian leopard. I was reminded of Odysseus, the legendary Greek king of Ithaca and hero of Homer's poem, The Odyssey. He was driven off course by storms. He got captured by the Cyclops Polyphemus. He crossed the ocean. He reached the end of the world, passing the six-headed monster Scylla and Charybdis. He lost all his crew, and it took him 10 years to finally be reunited with his faithful wife, Penelope, after the Trojan War, and Ithaca became a land of peace and order again. Like Odysseus, my life was amazing again. I had everything that I could dream of, and my life looked more beautiful and meaningful every day. I understand how Odysseus felt after 20 long years wandering, being challenged, and then finally returning home. His drive during this astonishing adventure was his love of his wife, Penelope. He managed to make it home because he kept fighting for his dreams, and maybe because he was a bit lucky, as was I. After a year and a half of being together again, everything was going as I had dreamed. Our relationship was wonderful. I had a new position as manager back in Greece. I ran an Ironman, a marathon, and we were planning to get married within the next 2 months. Everything was on track until the conditions of relationship became more complicated and she started losing ground to her fears, doubting our relationship, and again, like a Persian leopard, running away. But this time, I was better prepared to handle the situation, my fears, and any feelings I had. Having laid the groundwork within yourself really makes it a lot easier to deal with and grapple and meet in a calm, conscious, compassionate way the fears and concerns and doubts that other people have within them. That's been my experience. Through my self-development journey, I have found how beautiful a daily routine can become when you love. I learned that it is essential in life to deal with fears and act out of love. I have become a better version of myself through this experience. I have found peace in myself and the person I am today. Whether or not she is with me tomorrow, I know I will be all right, just as Odysseus was, piece by piece, stone by stone. I will build my own Ithaca, again filled with peace and love. Elaeus, Nobelist in Literature, 1979, major exponent of Romantic Modernism, writes, Only he who fights the darkness within will the day after tomorrow have his own share in the sun. Life is a beautiful voyage with heavy and calm seas, as well as sunbathed sunrises and beautiful sunsets. How you will sail it depends upon the route that you choose. Get out of your comfort zone. Decide based on love, not fear. The moment you dare, you evolve. Yeah, we can't control what others do. We can take 100% responsibility for what we say and what we don't say, what we do and what we don't do, and the impacts of those decisions. And others get to take responsibility for the things that they say and don't say, they do and they don't do, and the impacts of their decisions that they have on others. Simple and also very complex at the same time. So is life. And it's okay. Complexity is okay. And ultimately, I am the only one who's guaranteed to be with me throughout my entire life. Therefore, I get to make the relationship with myself a priority. And I love me. I'm grateful for the time I have with me, for the time that I spend with me. I can give me the love that I need, want, and crave. I get to fill my love tanks so I can meet someone who's filled their own love tanks. Being whole and complete by myself without anyone else. So I can draw in someone else who's whole and complete within themselves. Not so that I believe in the law of attraction. Like attracts like. So it's better said that when I come from a place where I am feeling whole and complete and perfect as I am, I then, by that resonance, attract in others to my life who they feel that they are whole, perfect, and complete as they are. And we're drawn together. Law of attraction, like attracting like. Ooh. Ignite action steps. Just live situations. Don't plan them. The unknown scares us because we're afraid of how much more beautiful tomorrow can be. Things will never go as you have planned. Feel, explore, experiment, fail, cry, laugh, learn from your mistakes, and try again. Be stronger than excuses. It's impossible to live without failure unless you live so cautiously you might as well not live at all, in which case you fail by default. Better an oops than what if later. Don't give up is something that you develop. We are not born with it. It's not easy. It needs discipline and self-knowledge, but you've got this. Be real, not perfect. A couple things come up before I continue. The just live situations and being afraid of how good tomorrow can be. Brings to mind the quote by Miriam Williamson, I think it is, that our greatest fear is that we are not inadequate, but we are powerful beyond measure. Life can get really good. So I'm told. I've had glimpses and times where I felt life was amazingly good. And part of me wonders, can I handle that much goodness all at the same time? on a continued basis. And one of the things that I learned in my own personal growth is that there is kind of like an upper limit to happiness that we feel comfortable in, and anything beyond that, we're like, part of us tries to go and shut that down because it's like too much good stuff. AM PM, too much good stuff. And it's like, no, get it to stop. Why? It feels so good. Because I can't handle it. I think part of that ties into worthiness issues, deservingness issues. And you are worthy of all the good. Because you exist. You're worthy. Period. I'm worthy. And it's up to me to do my own inner work to raise my own worthiness and raise my level of how much good I can accept at a time. And then, just like any other emotion, allow myself to feel good, allow myself to feel the feeling, and to let that energy flow and process it, so it makes room for other feelings to go and come in, because feelings are meant to be felt, including the good feelings. Allow yourself to feel the good feelings, then you can let them go. You don't have to hold on being like, this feels so good. Yes, it feels good because it's flowing, it's going through. And trust that as you feel good and as you process those good feelings, that there'll be more good times in the future. There's an abundance of good feeling out there. And the more you allow yourself to feel that and to continue on, the more that you make room for even more good feeling to come in. The opposite of pleasure is even more pleasure. One of my favorite quotes from an energy master that I know, named Lawrence Slanoff. Brilliant man. The opposite of pleasure is even more pleasure. That gets into a really beautiful loop when you let yourself go into that. Be proud of your journey, of your failures and your achievements. Discover your passion. Passion is contagious, so manifest it. Do not restrain yourself. Yes. Enjoy your path. Enjoy your journey that you are choosing. It may suck sometimes. And that's okay. It may be challenging sometimes. That's okay. Suffering is unavoidable, according to the Buddha. No, pain is unavoidable. There you go. Pain is unavoidable. Suffering is optional. You don't have to suffer. And you can be proud of where you are and what you've gone through, including the things that didn't work out. It's all part of who you are. And you are whole, perfect, and complete just as you are. Just as I am. Be kind to others and to yourself always, no matter what. Be loyal to the romantic emotions that get you into it in the first place. Love yourself, love others, love with all your glory. Find your own sun and challenge it. Good luck with your love adventures. Yes, good luck with your love adventures. And we've been doing this for a week at this point, and there's still much to go within Ignite Love. And within that, I am feeling love, and I am hoping that you are having some positive feelings and perhaps shifting some things within inside of you in listening to each one of these chapters that I'm doing. If you might have an interest in having your own journey in love supported, I invite you to go to my website of enlightenedconsent.net. And there you can get a 30-minute Ignite Love breakthrough, a a love life breakthrough session. 30 minutes for $30, introductory rate, and cause a breakthrough in your own love life. I'd love to go and support you, and thank you for being on this journey with me. I will see you again soon. You are loved, and all is well. Bye for now.